Today I'd like to share with you why I stopped following the news. My name is Anneke and I'm a personal effectiveness coach for young professionals in Amsterdam. Now probably you wonder, what does watching the news have to do with personal effectiveness? I'll get to that. But first, I'd like to share two issues that I have with watching the news. The first one is that it's nearly impossible to get a full and objective picture of reality. Why do world leaders take certain decisions? What are two countries really at war about? News articles and news items are simply too short to show the full complexity of reality. And next to that, there are a lot of interests at stake. So selectiveness of information is often used to influence or misguide us. And then the news doesn't even have to be untrue. Just a slightly different perspective can already change the message completely. The second issue that I have with watching the news is that even if we would get a full and objective picture of reality, we often don't have influence on these situations. A lot of awful things happen in the world, but I wonder, what is the value of knowing about all of them? And this gets me a step closer to personal effectiveness, because a model that I often use is the Circle of Influence by Stephen Covey. And this contains the outside circle, the circle of concern, where you find all the things that you are involved in or that you feel concerned about, but that you don't have a direct influence on, like the weather or other people's behavior or economics, politics, and a lot of things that you see in the news. The inner circle is the circle of influence. This is where we have a direct impact. And this contains our own behavior, what we say, what we do, the things that we put our energy and time into. There's a universal principle that says, what you pay attention to grows. If we pay attention to the outside circle of concern, what will very likely grow is a sense of frustration, of helplessness, maybe even sadness. When we pay attention to the circle of influence, what will likely grow is not only our influence, but also our effectiveness, our impact, and with that a sense of strength, of autonomy, and of fulfillment. So how could we apply this regarding things that happen in the world? Could we make a step from the outer circle to the inner circle? I think we could. What works for me is to focus my energy and to contribute in a conscious way. As I opened up for this, opportunities came by and I picked the ones that fit me the best. So for example, I now support a little boy in Sri Lanka through an organization that I trust. I decided to use less plastic and to eat less meat. And the last 2.5 years I volunteered for a small foundation in Amsterdam whose mission it is to increase the impact of volunteering abroad. Now, all of these things feel like a valuable use of my time and energy to me. They don't cost me very much, and they give me a lot of positive energy. Now, as I opened up for this, not only opportunities came by, but also inspiring examples. For example, The Happy Activist, a Dutch channel that shares small and big initiatives that make a positive contribution to the world. Now maybe you wonder, isn't this all a bit too happy? Will we really be involved in the world if we don't watch the news? Well, to me, the news gives you the opportunity to know a little bit about a lot of things, but it doesn't really give the opportunity to get involved right away. So I would dare to say that by focusing on a couple of things in your direct environment, getting information about that, and then making a conscious decision on how to contribute would be a bigger involvement than watching the news. My message is not that everyone should stop watching the news. My message is that I believe that we could collectively have a much bigger impact in making the world a better place if we would focus more on the circle of influence and take conscious decisions about where we put our energy and time into. Thank you for watching my video. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you would like to talk further with me about this subject. And also feel free to take a look at my website where I shared more blogs that I have written in the past months.